All right, well, here we are at the lathe. Of course, I don't have a good setup for doing this kind of video, so you have to excuse me. But you have to believe me that this is a lathe. This right here, we call the tail stock. Moves back and forth. This right here is the head stock. This is where we put our tubing. We're going to use 38 millimeter. We have a cork with a metal tube, and the metal tube, I'm going to close that up there, tighten that. The metal tube is attached to a hose, which I am going to blow in at some point. Let's make sure we got an airtight connection here. All right, sir. Yeah. People tell me, Jim, you mean to tell me you can squeeze down with, squeeze down with these metal fingers holding this glass and not have like a little bit of, I don't know, asbestos or glass tape or something? Aren't you afraid of cracking the glass? And I was afraid when I first learned how to do this, but the guy who taught me, Bill O'Rourke, he said, nah, you don't need any of that stuff. Just don't squeeze down too hard. Just squeeze down hard enough to hold on to it. That's all you need. I'm like, wow, is it really that simple? It really is. All right. So the first thing we're going to do after I find my glass blowing glasses, and of course, someday I will get a filter to go over the screen so you can see what I see. Do you see what I see? But you don't, because I have didinium, and this filters out the harmful sodium flare of the glass. I got to change this torch tip right now. This is too small for what we're going to do next. We're putting the number 3 in. You need at least a 3 or a 4 to be doing this stuff. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to blow a small hole. Oh, I probably should make sure my gas and oxygen's turned on. Speaking of glass and oxygen, gas and oxygen, it's propane and oxygen. I used to use oxygen cylinders. I went ahead and bought myself a oxygen generator. I wish I had done this years ago. If you're starting off and you're going to be doing glass blowing, don't bother with cylinders. Get yourself an oxygen generator. If you want to know where to get one, send me a message and I'll let you know. There's a guy in Indiana. He's good. This has saved me hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. So, let's blow a little hole. So we're going to heat up the end of the 30, this is 38 millimeter, standard wall. And we're just going to heat up the end, and we're going to blow a hole that is the same diameter as the platform that we made for our sunflower. The base of the sunflower, remember it had that little platform on it? We're going to try to blow a hole the same size. See that? It's so simple. Now, if I was going to be an exacting type of glass blower, I would have measured the diameter of that platform and I would have made my hole exactly the right size. But, it's science, it's art, we're having fun. As long as we get it close, we'll be fine. Of course, you know by now that glass does not conduct heat, so as hot as I got the end of that thing, I can still touch it right here. That right there, if I touch that end, I'm going to the hospital. But this end, no problem.